Movies can be the perfect way for couples to pass the time. They're entertaining, easily shared experiences, and they tend to teach us a thing or two about each other's tastes. There are some movies, however, that are probably best viewed alone so as to avoid arguments, general awkwardness, or sudden distrust. These films are totally worth your time, as long as you're by yourself. Fair warning, there are spoilers aplenty about each of these titles. Gone Girl. David Fincher's adaptation of the creepy mystery novel Gone Girl is the kind of movie that can easily leave partners second-guessing what they really know about one another. Chances are, your lover isn't going to disappear and frame you for it just out of spite. But given the graphic lengths to which Rosamund Pike's Amazing Amy was willing to go to deliver payback to Ben Affleck's cheating Nick Dunn, it's just better to avoid the potential for romantic fallout that might result from sharing a viewing. That said, it's still totally worth a solo screening because it's still a pretty solid adaptation of an intensely gripping narrative. Sweet November. For a movie that's been billed as a romantic drama, Sweet November sure has its twistier moments. The film centers around Charlize Theron's character Sarah Deaver, who at first seems like your prototypical precocious manic pixie dream girl, but as Keanu Reeves' Nelson Moss soon discovers, she has a devastating secret beneath all those scarves. For some, this might seem like a heart-wrenching story of star-crossed love, but for others, it might just be maddening that this poor schmuck could be duped into giving his heart to someone so tragic. In the interest of avoiding unnecessary arguments on the home front, this one's best reserved for a solo screening. Unfaithful. Any attempt at discussing this movie is going to start an argument, guaranteed. Diane Lane's character Connie Summer is a married mother in a lustless marriage, but that all changes when she comes across Olivier Martinez's character Paul Martel. The resulting affair is sensuous and intoxicating, but has grave consequences for her marriage and her paramour. Without spoiling all the details, let's just say that crimes of the heart aren't the only ones that result from her duplicity. It's what happens next that's bound to be a point of severe derision from those who regard adultery to be the ultimate deal breaker. So, to avoid the conversation catastrophe that's sure to ensue from watching this movie on date night, save it for a rainy day all by your lonesome. The Good Girl. Jennifer Aniston fans will definitely want to see this movie because The Good Girl marks an impressive departure from the generic rom-com fare she's usually found in. That said, this one is also completely not safe for couples. The movie revolves around her store clerk character Justine being stuck in an emotionless marriage until she's swept up by her handsome, albeit obsessive coworker played by Jake Gyllenhaal. From there, things seem to spiral out of control for all characters involved, and let's just say the potential for post-credit squabbling looms large. So it's best to just steer clear of coupling up for this cinematic experience altogether. Revolutionary Road. Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio made blockbuster magic together in Titanic, and their reunion a decade later for Revolutionary Road was nothing to shake a stick at either. The two played the Wheelers, a couple who shared 2 kids and a run-of-the-mill 50s suburbanite existence, but grow increasingly unhappy with each other and their place in the world. They eventually decide to move to France, where she can be the breadwinner, but when she becomes pregnant with their 3rd child, everything falls apart in a spectacular series of screen arguments that showcase the actors' gifts for cutting remarks. At the same time, the movie's unblinking look at the demise of a once-perfect couple can easily plant the seeds of doubt into even the most promising pair, so don't go queuing this one up on date night. Away from Her. Sarah Polley's adaptation of the Alice Munro short story The Bear Came Over the Mountain is a masterclass in filmmaking in many ways, but it isn't likely to give couples a case of good vibrations. A man who deeply loves his wife watches as her Alzheimer's washes away all memory of the life they shared, while she gives her heart to a fellow patient who suffers from a similar condition. Naturally, he tries to break them up by running interference, but he eventually finds that his wife's broken heart outweighs his own. Needless to say, it's heartbreaking, and for any couple hoping they'll grow old together, this might be a rude wake-up call that invites all kinds of ethical debates. The Gift. With The Gift, Joel Edgerton proved his talents extend well beyond a strong screen presence. The accomplished actor made his writer-director debut with this eerie mystery thriller and pulled off one of the most satisfying and unsettlingly ambiguous endings in the entire genre. As Gordo, a man who shares a mysterious past with Jason Bateman's character, Edgerton lingers at the margins of everything his old acquaintance has built for himself. a great job, a beautiful wife and home, and even a growing family. The title Gift can be seen in several different ways during the movie, but perhaps the movie's most lasting effect is the gnawing sensation it leaves you with. Questions like who was right are bound to pop up after letting this mind trip of a movie sink in, so definitely check it out. Just wait till your significant other is otherwise occupied before pressing play. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.